Hi everyone, welcome to Intuitive Garden Tarot. Let me check my volume so this doesn't come in too loudly for you guys. Hopefully that's good. Okay. Hi, welcome back if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. Again, my name is Nicole, and I will be doing a weekly energy forecast. It's been a few weeks since I've done one. It's been a hell of a few weeks. I don't know if you all are feeling it, but the energy just keeps ramping up and ramping up and ramping up. I'm just trying to keep up with it. But I am definitely noticing a lot of energy drain, basically, as I'm adapting and integrating to all the changes I'm feeling. If you all are feeling that, or some of you are, hopefully this helps you to not feel alone. Before I start, please subscribe to my channel, share my videos, like my videos. It really helps my channel grow, and I appreciate it so much, and the opportunity to do this for you. As well as, if you'd like to book a personal session with me, you may do so by going to my website, intuitivegardentarot.org, and the information is there. So I'm going to start off with a message from the garden and just get a tone for the energy of this week. Again, this is for April 28th through May 4th, 2025. And what came up here is leadership with Leo and Gemini energy. I'm sorry, Libra and Gemini energy. So double air with a moon. Yeah. Lots of communication, awarenesses, thoughts connected to our feelings. That's what I'm noticing right away coming through here. I do like that magic wand. And the mention of leadership to me says, basically we're our own leader. So in the world realm, remember that if you're not happy with what you're seeing, take charge, live your life the way you feel is right, connect with others that feel the same way, and just try to focus on how you'd like things to be instead of not what's wrong. That's really important right now. Our thoughts are extremely powerful. The manifestation energy is extremely strong right now. And if you were a leader, what would you do differently? How would you lead? How would you lead in a government structure? How would you lead in community? How would you lead in family and friendship? Or a platform like this? It's time to really step into our leadership, I think, for anyone who's feeling called to it. Everyone's needed now more than ever. So let's look at the tarot. I have the Ethereal Visions deck here and see what energy comes through for this week for my viewers. All right. Four of Wands, Three of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Temperance, Nine of Pentacles, and Six of Cups. Very interesting. So there aren't any swords here, and we started off with that overall energy being very much air energy. So let's see how this plays into the details of the tarot. And we only have one major arcana in this layout, and this is the Temperance card. This is a beautiful high frequency energy of transmuting, transforming, alchemizing, healing. It's a process that takes time. But that is where the energy is going. So let's just look at first kind of where we've been. We have the Four of Pentacles here. And this is about just really holding back, conserving energy, conserving spending, really just trying to keep your feet on the ground is what I'm feeling. And it's been tough. It's been really tough to be in the lower chakras, be connected to our feet, because there is just so much energy and chaos and dysfunction and beauty and new creations as well happening simultaneously, that we're just in this whirlwind of energy. And if you've been able to even sort of keep your feet on the ground or keep up with meditating or slowing down, connecting with yourself, being in your body, then you are totally succeeding, because it's been no joke for sure. Very, very challenging. And we're showing up here as the Four of Wands. So this is really like a breakthrough, a celebration of something coming together. This is another four. Fours represent stability. So what I'm getting is that if it's been hard for you to, remain stable or feel stable, somehow you've broken through and found some way to do that. And major blessings. I see help from above, help from elemental energies, unseen helpers that are definitely contributing to the success of all of us just managing what's going on inside and around us. And the important thing to look at here in the Four of Wands is that castle in the background through that gateway. And that represents, again, stability, home, future aspirations. Like what is it that you're longing to experience, achieve? And I have no idea if this is what others interpret in the tarot, but right now this is resembling to me the new structure that's built after the tower falls. It's solid, it's in coherence, it has different components, it's multifaceted. So maybe some of you are regrouping in your family life or your home life in a way that is celebrating. Maybe some of you are planning a wedding or attending a wedding. Just is a beautiful, fruitful energy. And next we have the Three of Pentacles, and this is a card of collaboration. These three individuals are working together to build a solid foundation, something that will last for generations to come. And it's somehow rooted in the tree of life, if that means something specific to any of you. But there are plans for what it is you want to do with yourself, with your finances, with your health. And this is a community or collaborative effort. So maybe you're working in groups to build new communities even that have a structure like I started off with. Maybe you're in a leadership role with others that are building something new. And there's a sharing. It's not just collaborating, it's sharing experiences and resources. So that's also coming through. That's wonderful. This again could be with family, friends, community, but there's a nice coming together followed by that Four of Wands energy. And then we have the Queen of Wands here at the heart of the reading. She is beautiful. She knows it. She's sexy. She is fun and playful, and she's not afraid to be in her truth and in her integrity. So I'm wondering if some of you have been coming out of place of holding back what your truth is or what your goals are. And maybe at this point in time, you're ready to own it, even if it doesn't fit the standard norm or what's already maybe established. Maybe you're going a little rogue. I keep looking at that sunflower she's holding, and that symbolizes playfulness as well as the energy of the sun, which is the best card in the deck, and the energy of light, life, warmth, upgrades, massive solar upgrades. Continue. I've said that many times and it continues to be true. So you can look it up online, but this is not something that is a theory. Okay, and as I mentioned earlier, This reading, the outcome of it, the energy that we're moving into is temperance, which is taking the sum of the parts and making something greater in its whole. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. I said that backwards, but interesting because this water is flowing up and down and backwards. There might be something to that. Oh, you might even be feeling like you're going backwards a little bit, and that is still a part of the healing. This is a pivotal time where some of the deeper stuff has been coming up for the last weeks and months. Really deep stuff in our own energy field, in the world, in the earth herself. And it might feel like things are getting worse, but actually sometimes that's how it looks when they're getting better. So to remind you again, I mentioned the energy of the Tower card and this being the new structure that you want to build after the tower falls down. The Tower energy is about a structure, a belief, a life that's built on a foundation of illusions, of partial truths that don't hold the test of time or the changes and the growth of consciousness and expanding awareness. And so yeah, things might look really poopy or feel really poopy even in your own world. But I just encourage you to hang on and hang on. This too will pass. Some are saying May in general is going to be a breath of fresh air. June, July is going to get easier, which may be true. That may be more specific to certain signs right now in the zodiac, like Pisces and Virgo. But I really think that's possible for any and all of us. But at the same time, the momentum of change and the desire to move forward and reach those future aspirations is going to keep driving things out of position that have been in place, and that continues to be kind of like a demolition job and messy. Do your best to take care of yourself and give yourself breaks from that awareness. Go within, take time alone, take time with nature, however you can do that. Sometimes it's just lighting a candle in a room by yourself at the end of the night, and that works too, to just soften your energy and relax your heartbeat. Okay, now we have the Nine of Pentacles, and this is another beautiful energy of really coming into your independence, finding your strength and power within yourself and feeling really good about it. So much like this Queen of Wands energy. So, and this applies to men and women. This is just an energy coming through, and we all have masculine, feminine energy in us. She's also very sovereign. Again, back to leadership. She is her own leader. And I think we're all being called to step into our own leadership. It's also a card of abundance and stability. So if things have been bumpy or frightening, look, this is even in my mind, the sun's rays coming from both corners, like two suns shining on you. Like we're okay. We're going to get through. You're going to get through. Focus on what you do have, what's going on right, and you will get more of that instead of focusing on what's missing or what you're worried about, okay? Six of Cups is the last clarifier, and this is a beautiful energy of connecting with your inner child, with children in general, with loved ones, people that feel really good to be around. This is often known as a card of recognizing soulmates or people you've known in other lifetimes. And so it's a card of the past. Again, it could be your past in this lifetime, but I think there's so many layers multidimensionally like interacting right now that it's kind of talking to all those layers. But connecting with those that you feel safe being with and that you feel accepted by. I'm getting choked up. where you just feel comfortable being yourself and being in your playful spirit and vulnerable. That's really important this week, that we connect with whatever energies we have in our lives like that, because we're actually building a better future as we live that while things are kind of falling apart or in disarray around us. Flowers. So much is coming into bloom. Don't forget that even in the chaos, there is always beauty, and you know the story of the lotus flower. It grows out of mud. Such a beautiful flower that represents expanded consciousness, enlightenment, connection to spirit. So look for that and fill up your own cup. Fill up your heart with whatever you can that feels like beauty, healing, connection, love, connection to all that is, and nature is the best way to do that. This can also represent pets to me. Again, just that comfort of feeling unconditionally loved. It's a beautiful thing. Do we need another message? Usually I would clarify with an oracle card, but I'm feeling drawn to the Star Tarot. So let's see. Let's use this to get more information from the Temperance card. Ooh, okay. Because I think that's an energy of the cake baking in the oven. It's something changing form and becoming something else, and it's a slower process. So what's changing for my viewers right now? Let's see. We have the Eight of Cups, Six of Pentacles, and the Three of Cups. Beautiful. What a blessing. So feel into it with your own intuition. What do these images spark in your awareness? With the Eight of Cups here, this is a card of reaching for something higher, something bigger. The story is that the character has 8 full cups, but they're looking for the 9th cup of total wish come true and 10th cup of happily ever after. And notice how this figure is submerged in deep, dark waters. Again, I think that's explaining the heavy energy that we're all in and we're all feeling right now. But that dolphin spirit is really helping this. This is a mermaid, actually. Reach for the stars. Reach for that light and that mountain outside of the water and the clouds, even to get to that rainbow at that mountain peak. With the dove, which to me represents love from all that is. It's peace. It's true unconditional love of unity consciousness. Let's put it that way. What we're all feeling is missing in our lives, whether we realize it's labeled as that or not. But some of these cups have even spilled, and she's not concerned about that. She knows that there's a much brighter light and future to come, and she's reaching up for that. She's swimming right up to it. And then next we have the Six of Pentacles, which is a card of reciprocity, of having all of our needs met, of things being fair and balanced by natural law. We're all meant to have abundance and our needs met. Nobody's supposed to be hungry or without shelter or community. And that's, again, what we're all doing as we get through this process and do our inner work. Some are very avidly and openly working in community as well, externally, to create new systems. I may have mentioned it before, but I just heard about transitional towns, and you might want to look those up. There are communities being built where, just as I said, people have come to the conclusion that they're not going to wait for the powers that be to make things right, because they're working within a system that fundamentally doesn't have a strong foundation of what's right, even though there are many, many people with good intentions trying to work within that system. The system itself has its flaws, and that's why it's not holding up. It doesn't mean that we're all going to fall apart. It means that this is time to reinvent our reality and our world. And we have all the resources we need. And another message behind this is universal support. The universe has your back. So the third card that came out is the Three of Cups, which is so lovely. This is community coming together in huge celebration. They're raising these ginormous cups up in gratitude, in thanks, in celebration, in harmony, in love with each other. This can manifest or show up in your individual lives in so many different ways. And by the way, look at the gazillion sunflowers in the background, and remember the sunflower here from the Queen of Wands. That's a synchronicity. It's something repeating. So that sun's energy, nature energy, flowers in general have a certain frequency. Roses have a very high frequency. Surround yourself with that in any way you can, even if they're just pictures or something you put on your screensaver to remind you to feel that frequency. It's very, very, very helpful. And the three, again, is another three, like the Three of Pentacles. It's coming together in community, like I said. And I'm noticing that the woman here in the center here, her braid is hooked into a full moon. Here we have the partial moon, crescent moons, waxing and waning. So again, there is a nod to the moon cycles. There is a new moon coming up, and that's when we're invited to set an intention of what it is we would like to create or manifest over the month or in the coming months. And because they have such giant cups and they're holding it so high, I'm hearing think big. Like, don't limit yourself in your dreams and your aspirations, and try to align with the moon's energy. Because again, that's how we tap into our feelings and our intuition. If we're just basing everything on logic or intellect, we're not getting our full potential to optimize our experience or to manifest. Manifestation is much weaker that way, and it's often driven then by our subconscious beliefs and thought patterns that maybe we haven't cleared yet, that don't serve us, that will recreate more situations to heal. So think really big about what it is you want to focus on, and try to keep your focus there and in your heart there. Of course, it's not to discount those heavy dark waters. So I don't mean to glaze over that or deny those experiences when they're happening, but it seems to be true over and over again that when one can kind of just surrender to it, we move through it so much faster than when we fight it or resist it or repress it. So do what feels right to you. This is just my perspective from what the cards are saying. But hopefully that's helpful and validating and maybe inspiring for some of you for what you might be going through and have been going through. I wish you a wonderful week. Remember, you can book a session with me at Intuitive Garden Tarot. We can look at your individual questions and your personal energy. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.